there's millions of Palestinians, which would have to find a way for them to live within a greater Israel, which simply wouldn't work.
Now, has the Israel-Hamas war given Russia an upper hand in its offensive in Ukraine? This is a question that several experts have asked.
No, I think definitely it's been something that's benefited Russia's war fighting, because again, Ukraine doesn't have its own money anymore. It doesn't have its own weaponry. It relies on support from the West, and as the West, at least the United States, very clearly prioritizes Israel, there's a lot of weapons and political focus and money which would otherwise have gone to Ukraine, which is now being diverted to Israel. So I think this definitely affects the war, and I think that Russia's probably taken advantage of this as well, because they've been stepping up their attacks now all across the front line and begun to advance. So I think they probably see this as a good moment to bring this war to an end through victory. So I think definitely the Russians have taken advantage of the Americans shifting this focus.
Right, absolutely. Time now for a final question, Professor, and I ask this only because the world's attention is currently focused on another war. What will happen once a brutal winter sets in with respect to the Russia-Ukraine war?
Well, it will make war fighting much more difficult. Again, I think they will bring some advantage to Russia, because the war is on Ukrainian territory. So the Russians have built up a huge amount of missiles and drones. So what I would expect over the next 2-3 weeks would be for Russia to begin to attack a lot of the infrastructure, such as power plants, and again, to shut down the Ukrainian military, but also to bring more pain. And again, I think they're looking now to bring this war to an end. So I think the cold weather will make the war much harder, especially in the trenches. And so again, more human suffering to come.
Right, Professor Glenn Deason, thank you so much for joining us on WION World is One with the latest on the Russia-Ukraine war. Thank you.
And now updates from the Russia-Ukraine war, where shelling continues from both the sides. Ukraine's military says that its troops have repelled Russian assaults in multiple areas, while they are bracing for a third wave of Russian offensive in a bid to capture the key frontline eastern town of Dnipro. And as per Ukrainian Interior Minister, Russia bombed 118 Ukrainian towns and villages in the last 24 hours. More than on any other day this year. As per the ministry, 10 of Ukraine's 27 regions had come under an attack, and there have been multiple